The opening day of the season has arrived here at Dartford. 8 players have come through the door. 3 have gone the other way. Let's just get it started, shall we? How we doing, everybody? And welcome to part 1 of Club 1 of my career series here on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we're going to be playing against Bath City and Cheshunt in the National League South. And if you're excited to see how we do in both of those games, please do leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you never miss any of the lovely FM content that's to come in the future from this face right here. Since you were last with us, we've done all of pre-season, we've signed players, we've let a couple of players go, and we've come up with what we think is going to be the team that is going to hopefully challenge for promotion. Before we do anything, I want to quickly show you the players that we have brought in. We haven't spent any money at all, and that includes transfers that happened before we got to the club. We haven't made any money either. It says 4.3k there. That was made before we got here. So, players in. Let's talk about those first. So, ignore everything from Radari upwards. So, it's everything further down. So, these are the players here that we brought in. So the first one we brought in was Matty Bowman. We brought in a bunch of trialists. And most of these guys are free transfers from trialists that we got from asking our director of football. We don't have a director of football. We were asking our assistant manager. But it's fine. He recommended players. We've signed players on his recommendation. And the first one was Matty Bowman, right back. We desperately needed full-backs. We only had one right back and one left back at the club. And one of those right backs is now one of our centre-backs. How I roll. Matty Bowman's in, 21 years old, formerly of Dunfermline. He also played at Pickering as well. Let's not forget to mention that. He's in. He's in until the end of the end of this season. Actually, he's worth absolutely nothing. He's on £95 a week, which, considering his current ability is 3.5 star, I find ridiculous. The average price for a player who's decent in this league, between £250 and £500, I would say. So really surprised we got him in. Looks decent enough. He's been okay in pre-season. Very happy with him. We then signed Liam Vincent on a loan from Portsmouth. He looks okay. He doesn't look anything more than that. But we needed a body through the door. This one, apparently, I mean, according to the dates here, this one came in fairly late, but fairly early. But it felt like it came in a lot later. But I think we had a lot of other deals waiting to be completed, and this one was one we just thought we'd get over the line. But we brought him in basically as squad depth, and he'll do a decent job for us from Portsmouth. Augustus McGiff, this guy in pre-season has been exceptional. Can we show you? I mean, he looks slightly less impressive there. 3 games, 3 goals, 1 assist. But every time he plays, he just excites me. There's something about him that's just... There's a little bit of magic there. Formerly of the New York City Academy, formerly of Reading as well, now joins us here at Dartford in the National League South. Lewis Byron, another right back. He's down as a defensive midfielder, as you can see under his name, but he is going to be a right back for us. Not necessarily the quickest, although he has got some pace. Not necessarily the best defender, although he can tackle. Good leadership, decent work rate. Not the best current ability, but he's got potential, and that's the thing. A lot of the players we've got have got potential, so if we keep the core of this squad together, we could be good. Worst case scenario, we could sell a lot of players on for a decent amount of money, which is pretty decent. So, very happy to have him in. He's on £275,000 a week. Ryan Huddart is our new goalkeeper. English goalkeeper, 25 years old, on £275 a week as well. I think I said £275,000 a week for the previous player. Definitely not that. £275 a week he is on. Formerly of Boreham Wood, Bromley, Boreham Wood again, Arsenal and Eastleigh. So a former Arsenal goalkeeper who never made an appearance for them, but he's got great aerial reach. That was the thing that kind of drew me in, if I'm being honest. Anuryn Livermore, this guy, there's one guy who we were looking to sign who had like potential to be a championship player. So this guy might have been the one, and it's readjusted now. Potential to be a League One central midfielder in the future. We have stumbled upon a bit of a superstar here. £220 a week. He is down as a star player. He is going to be starting a lot of games. He could be very special. Ethan Wassell as well. Very decent defender for this level. We got him. Very happy we got him. We had to go in for him twice because he cost that much money, £425. He wanted £600 originally, but we got him. He's formerly of Derby County, formerly of Hereford. Happy days, very happy with that one. And then the last transfer we've got in, Keane Anderson, midfielder on loan from Aldershot. 2.5 star, Current ability, 5-star potential. He's got potential. He's here as squad depth. We do still need some squad depth. Our transfers are not done necessarily, but in terms of what we can actually afford, they are, because we're over our wage budget. And if you remember, one of the things in our thing is work within the wage budget. So we do need to solve that. If we get promoted with that, I imagine we'd be fine. If we don't get promoted, however, there could be a bit of an issue. In terms of players who have gone out, Ali Mansaray, is that correct? Yeah, it is. Ali Mansaray, gone out on a free. I mean, his current ability is definitely not that. His potential is definitely not that. It was 3.5-star, 4-star. He wasn't going to get game time because he was only a 2-star player. We needed better players in. So he's gone. We got him off the wage bill. We also let Cameron Brodie go for a very similar reason. His, again, current ability is probably the 2-star. His potential is probably the 4-star. Even then, 4-star, I think he's probably generous. We weren't going to use him. And Tom Ray's gone out on loan to one of our the only youngster in our youth system, if you remember. We sent him out on loan because he's not going to get a lot of game time. Let's get him out. Let's see if he can get some actual minutes on the pitch and hopefully grow to a player that we'll use next season. That's the aim for me, because remember, one of our goalkeepers is currently on loan at the club. If I quickly show you the squad, that's how it's looking. We're going with a standard 4-4-2. It is non-league after all, and it's worked pretty well for us so far. As you can see, through pre-season, we've had some decent ratings here. Some players have played well, some players have not. We've got one player left on loan who I would love to bring in if we can somehow find the money for him. Kieran Evans, English midfielder, 23 years old, formerly of Swansea and Gloucester City. Look at the flair, look at the top end of the technicals, look at his technique, look at some of his physicals. Yes, he's 5'6", so he's a bit short, but if we could get him in and train him to be a proper central midfielder, oh my word, he would be sensational. I really hope we can move a couple of players on to stump up the cash for this guy, because he could be fantastic. There are players I'm still trying to move on, though. Dan Wilkes is one of them. He was the #1 goalkeeper at the club when we arrived. He's 5'11", though. I've made my feelings very clear about short goalkeepers. Saying short, he's very similar height to what I am, but I've made my feelings known. I would like to get him out the door. Unfortunately, no one actually wants to take him at the moment. It's £300 a week that we could save, and I really, really just want to shift him. The problem is, I think he signed a new contract in the game before the game officially starts, so we are struggling to move him on. We're also trying to move on Sam Adaudu. I mean, we're moving him on now just because of that. 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. He's decent, actually, and we could hold on to him. The problem is, number one, we don't need him anymore because we've sorted all of our defensive positions. And number two, we've got better defenders than that now. We've got all of our defenders are better than 2.5-star. He could develop, but again, he's 5'11". Can he play left back? If he can play left back, he might be saved. Can't play left back. Yeah, we're trying to move him on either as a transfer permanently, which will accept nothing for him, or as a loan because we'll just get his wages off the bill. Either will do. I'm also trying to loan out Alex Wall. The Wall is not going to be here for very long. We would like to move him on, but again, he's just signed this season. I don't really want him. He's not the type of striker I like. And Fonkeu and Radari, as a partnership in pre-season, have been great. Charlie Sheringham's been great as well. He is a little bit miserable. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they're the main three that I am trying to move on. Statham we're trying to loan out as well. Again, it's a loan because we just signed in real life. And then the only other one we were trying to move on was Christian Campbell. Unfortunately, no one wanted him. So he's ended up becoming our starting left back. Because Liam Vincent, bless him, in our system, I think he's a 2-star left back, yeah. I don't really want to have him as a defensive left back. I want him as a supporting left back. So we're going to start with Christian Campbell. Liam Vincent is going to be his deputy. And that's the team. That's how it's looking. In terms of our pre-season form, that's it. Unbeaten. As well, bear in mind, Derby County. Unbeaten. We played Derby County. We got a 0-0 against them. Fantastic. Wildstone are in the division above us. I believe they're in the division above us. Yes, they are. They're in the division above us. We also played against, I can't remember who, Brackley? Who are Brackley? Brackley are in the same level of league as us. We beat them. Maidstone, are they the ones? Yeah, Maidstone. We beat Maidstone, and they're in the league above us as well. Yes, they're only friendlies, but the fact that we've beaten 2 National League teams, and we've drawn against the League 1 team as well, I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself, but that's got to be a good sign, surely. Speaking of good signs, time for that game against Bath. And this is the 11 we're going to be going with. It is Ryan Huddart in goal, our new starting goalkeeper. There he is, just to look at him again with that 18 aerial reach and a 15 jumping reach. Handling's good, his kicking's good, his throwing's decent, his reflexes are decent. Some stats that aren't particularly decent, but he's 6'5", don't you know? At right back, it is Matty Bowman. Again, new player coming into the club. A lot of these players are new, both from signings we've made and signings that the game, well, that'll be made in real life. Matty Bowman is the right back. We will go through these a bit quickly if we can. Ethan Wassell, you've already seen, he's one of our centre-backs, along with Tom Bonner. I think Bonner is our captain. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I do believe he is our captain. But he's going to be the central defensive partner to Wassell. Campbell, as we mentioned, Christian Campbell, he's going to be our left back. Stats going down, probably need to have a word with him. It is going to be Samir Caruthers on the right-hand side. We started him on the left. He's played much better on the right-hand side. He's going to be our right-sided midfielder. It is going to be Aneurin Livermore, the new superstar kid who could be a League One player, in the middle, alongside Luke Allen. There was a great defensive midfielder that we couldn't get hold of, so Luke Allen's going to have to do. If I could upgrade one position, it would probably be that one. And then we've got Luke Coulson on the left-hand side. He's been sensational as well, actually. He's looked like a proper player. Defensive winger, my eye. He's looked really good going forward. And then up front, we've got Radari, who has genuinely been superb for us. 8 appearances in pre-season, 10 goals, 2 assists. That says everything from the Swiss. I keep wanting to call him Faneku. Fonkeyu, 8 appearances, 15 goals, 3 assists. And most of that has been those two playing together. They've been superb. Our bench is only 5 men, which is the first time in such a long time I've had to deal with a 5-man bench. I'm not very happy with. But we're just going to go with it, and we're just going to see what happens. I have absolutely no idea. We have to give squad numbers, apparently, because I haven't done it. Well, let's quickly do that then. Let's give you the 25. Ethan Wassell, you can have 26. Aneurin Livermore, you can have 17. And Keane Anderson, you can have... give you 30. Let's do that. I have been playing all of my matches on the 2D match engine just to get through them quickly. I'm hoping that I remember to change it back. I guess we'll find out pretty quickly whether I did. I've got a feeling that I didn't. No, I didn't. Bear with me. 2 seconds. Okay, all fixed, all sorted. We're just going to make sure that we've got the league table here as well. We've got our team and our formation here. We've got Bath's team and Bath's formation here. If you've seen my Chelsea saves, you'll know how I like the tablet set out. We're going to go with the same thing. And here we go. First proper game as Dartford manager in my career. And I'm very excited to see how we do. We have looked dominant in pre-season, which is very good. And I'm very happy about it. But I've had it before when I've looked with the team that I've managed has looked one way in terms of pre-season and has looked absolutely awful when the season's got underway. I'm really hoping that isn't what happens here. Remember, we were predicted to finish 3rd when we started this save. It'll be interesting to see if we're still 3rd in the season preview, actually. We'll have a look at that when this game is finished, and we might be about to concede our first goal. Fortunately, Fletcher's finishing wasn't very good on that occasion. But it's a nervy start. Bath draw first blood in terms of shots. We have now had a shot, though. We didn't see it, so it wasn't a very good one. But Tom Bonner, the captain, is one of our best players at the moment. Right, free kick out wide. Lyons whipping it in, looking for Dyer. Bonner heads it clear, only as far as Cook, though. I do like non-league because it means it's got a lot of players who I can at least have an attempt at pronouncing the names of and not worry about getting them too wrong. Right, Campbell clears it. It gets it to Foneku. I'm going to keep saying his name wrong. Fonkeyu, not Foneku, Fonkeyu. They are dominating possession a little bit here, and I'm not very happy about it. We are set up to wing play, and at the moment, they are stopping us really take advantage of our players, and that isn't even... I don't even think that's that good a finish, but Bath go ahead. That is a bit of a concern, if I'm honest. Bath are listed as one of the best teams in the league, along with ourselves. I'm going to just encourage the boys, because we've started okay, but we need a little bit more. Right, we have got a throw in at the other end. Caruthers now to Bowen. Bowman, that's who I meant. And Coulson, what did I tell you? Defensive winger, my eye. He goes and does that. Lovely stuff. Bowman, whose name I got wrong. I called him Bowen. Not Jared Bowen. It's Bowman. Just stop talking. Coulson with the header, and it is 1-1. And hopefully we do a bit more of that, please, boys. Let's go. Let's go. I didn't talk about Sheringham. Basically, when we signed the American guy whose name I can't remember, who's not on the bench today because I think he picked up a knock, yeah, when we signed the American kid basically ruffled his feathers and Sheringham thought he's been replaced, which at the time he was. At the moment, he's not, because Sheringham's been really good in pre-season. So, yeah, we're not replacing Sheringham, but he genuinely thinks that we are, and we're definitely not. And we had a bit of a falling out with it, because I tried to say, you know, competition's good. Sometimes that works. This is one of those times where it definitely didn't. Right, Wassell's having an absolute shocker, so I am tempted to bring him off for Jordan Winter, who is the right back who we turned into a centre-back. So we are going to bring him on as a centre-back. We are going to do that very early on. We have only got 3 substitutes as well, which when you got a 5-man bench is not a problem. But let's go. Let's encourage the boys again. We've actually taken over in the game in terms of the amount of chances we've had, but they have had the better chances. So XG definitely showing in their favour at the moment. This Cook guy is actually just dominating our defence at the moment. The only issue I've got, well, it's not even an issue, but I can clearly see that they are playing. Well, it looked like for a second they were playing with a 4-3-3, and I haven't really properly looked at their formation. My problem with the 4-4-2 is that, they're playing a mutant formation. The problem with the 4-4-2 is it's just rigid lines, even with different player roles on. And I've just realised I've not done any set-piece routines, which is a bit of an oversight on my part. And Hoodart, oh my word, it's just gone straight through him. It's just gone straight through him. We had another goalkeeper who we got in on trial, and he was leagues above what we could afford. And I really wish I'd just signed him and no one else now. That's atrocious. That's absolutely atrocious. Right, well, we've got to go attacking. We're going to demand more from the boys. Carruthers is having a shocker. Livermore's having a shocker. Radari's having a shocker. Radari was so good in pre-season, but he's not turned up today. Right, Funkeu. To put it in the back of the net. It's not hard. Right. Substitute o'clock. I'm not used to only having 2 more subs left. Right, Charlie Sheringham's coming on. He's not happy with me. He's getting some football. We've got to take Carruthers off as well. It's going to be Herschel. Herschel is only 1 star there because we've been training. He's actually a 2.5 star. Well, he's a 3-star player, actually. But it looks like he's going to be an absolute superstar. But he can't play as a winger in that position. He has to be up here. So we're just going to put him there and hope that he does a decent job. Livermore's going to have to suck it up and deal with it. I think he can play as a Mazzala. So let's actually... Do you know what we're going to do? We're going to play him in his... In fact, do you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to play him as a centre mid on attack. We're going to do that. And we're going to hope that those couple of changes can turn this ship around. It wouldn't be the end of the world to lose against Bath away from home on the first day. But we are expected to draw against Bath on the first day. At the moment, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm fairly confident that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Car horn in the background. Apologies if you heard that. That is not the start we wanted, I'll be honest. That is not the start at all. I'm not going to say anything else there. I'm going to find players individually, I think, because that is not a good start whatsoever. But we did all right. Like, in terms of actually how we played against them, we weren't too bad at all. I can't see what the actual XG was there, because the ring's in the way. I'm going to assume that's more than 1. But that is really frustrating. We would have liked to have won that. I mean, Livermore, what a shocking performance that is. I mean, I'm going to fine him half a week's wages for that. Radari will have a little bit of a telling off to as well, because that not good enough. Not good enough whatsoever. Hoodart was woeful. Absolutely woeful. Wassell was as well. I mean, Wassell's worth half a week. The amount of money we're paying him and he puts in that performance, I mean, that's a bit of an issue. I'm not happy with that at all. Right, well, back to the drawing board then. I'm going to go ahead to the Chestnut game, and hopefully, at home, we'll put on a bit more of a show, because that was definitely not the team that I saw in pre-season. Okay, we're here for the game against Cheshunt, the first home game we've got in this National League South season. Hopefully we get back on track with a win. And this is going to be the 11 we're going to use. We've changed a few players, oh, let me tell you. It's Young in goal, Bowman, Wassell, Bonner and Campbell in defence, Carruthers, Murtagh, Allen and Coulson in the midfield, with Sheringham partnering Funkeu up front. We have brought Murtagh in. He would have started the last game, but for an injury. Been pretty decent in pre-season for us. Hopefully he can do that, and well, can bring that a little bit further forward. That'd be lovely. And we've also changed the goalkeeper, because why wouldn't we, after the last game. The assistant recommends nothing, so we'll do nothing. We'll just get into the game and see what happens. I have also, it is worth pointing out, tweaked a couple of tactical things. When I first was setting up the formation, I went with a standard wing plane. I changed a few things on it, but I didn't really look too deeply into it. I've changed how wide we are because we were set to maximum width. So we're going to go with a little bit narrower. Still set as wide. I think fairly wide is probably the fairest term that comes up on it. We're going to go with that, just so we do get a little bit of action in the middle of the park, because we were very, very wide. It did work in getting us a goal, but didn't work in getting us the win. So hopefully, just very hopefully, we can do something else. We changed a couple of other things as well, but that was the biggest one that I saw and thought, oh, we need to change that. I've also changed our set piece instructions. So we are now actually winning a penalty, apparently. We're now at the point where I think we've trained, again, I'm not doing training at all until I get the Continental Pro license. I think we trained corners this week, so we should be good on our corners when we get them. Sheringham has scored a penalty, by the way, so hopefully he's going to be a bit happier. We've come to a compromise with him. We had that random thing where a journalist pops up and asks a question, and we basically said in there, we're not replacing him, so we've just got to give him a fair amount of game time. And I think starting him today, him getting a goal, it's going to go some to actually convincing him that we want him here. Because we do want him here. He's an old man, but he's our old man. And he'll be here for a season. We'll move him on next year. But if he can do a good job in the meantime, I'll be happy about it. They are having lots of chances. Our defence is not coping with them whatsoever. Wassell is not having a good game at all. Bowman's not having a good one either. They are dominating us a little bit, aren't they? That's a bit of a concern, if I'm honest. It's making me look and think, do we have to rethink the tactic that we're using? Not necessarily the wing play bit, but maybe the formation bit. Maybe we need another person in the midfield. I did consider, when I first started thinking about this save, whatever team I picked, because of how you can just get players in non-league through free transfers, I was considering whether we possibly looked at the option of going with 3 at the back just for a bit more defensive stability. It's something I've never really done. And then I thought to myself, well, if I've never really done it, I'm not going to start doing it when I'm at non-league. That feels more like something I should do with a team that can cope with it. And yeah, in the nicest way, I don't know if this team would have coped with it. Coulson with a lovely bit of control, but it gives the ball away here. And we could be about to go 1-1. Newton chests it down. It is 1-1. Young doesn't do very well here. And even though we're at home, we are not looking particularly good. So we might need to go back to the drawing board here. We're going to just demand a bit more from the boys, because I'm not liking what I'm seeing from us ever since we've hit the actual season. It's not been great, if I'm honest. It's not been great at all. Right, Funkeu trying to get past the silver, he just can't. And then the ball just gets lumped down to our end as well. It doesn't help that actually... To be fair, I can answer the question why we're not as good as we were in pre-season. In pre-season, we had some absolute baller players. They were just all here on trial. And then we realised that we couldn't afford them. And if Funkeu would have scored that, that would have been magnificent. But he didn't, and it ended up being a bit of a waste because he could have probably passed the ball. We had some absolutely fantastic players, and then we just couldn't get them in through the door. And now we don't have those fantastic players. So actually, it does make a lot of sense. But even then, towards the end of the transfer window, towards the end of the pre-season friendlies, we did get to the point where we weaned ourselves off those players and we still looked good. Sheringham with a great chance there. And it goes out and it is going to be a corner to us. I don't exactly know, if I'm honest. Sorry, I just had a random thought pop into my head then. I don't exactly know where Chessons are expected to finish in the table. I've not actually had a look. In fact, we're going to point the finger and say that. Not good enough. Not happy defensively. I'm just not happy across the board, to be honest with you. Really not happy with the strikers. They're not happy. I'm not happy. No one's happy. Right back has not been good. Annoyingly, I changed the bench around and we don't have a right back who can come on for him. So we're going to have to leave him now. We're going to have to leave the left back there as well. We probably can change Coulson, but I'm kind of reluctant to do that because Coulson can do a good job. We need to control things a little bit more in the midfield. And I am worried a little bit that changing the formation and the tactic that we've used all the way through could backfire spectacularly. So I don't really know what the best thing to do is here. What we're going to do is we're going to put Sheringham out wide. I know he can't really play there, but he's going to go out wide. And then we're going to bring on Rodari. Rodari has been reliable for us. And then we've got McGiff in our back pocket should we need him. I want to give Anya in Livermore another chance, but I don't think right now is the moment for it. So we're going to do that. And tactically, I don't know what to do. We're going to go again in the second half and just see whether we can just step things up a little bit. I think hitting early crosses, not a bad shout, actually. We're also going to play for set pieces. Let's do that. Let's do both of those things, and let's see whether we can just trip them up a little bit. Because at the moment, we're giving away a lot from them, and I'm expecting us to do that in non-league because no one's good. But it's a bit worrying because I feel like this is a game we should be, if not definitively on top in, we should just be on top in it. Radari's done really well there. Funkeu's just so far offside there, though. So far offside. And we've given away another free kick. We are actually giving away a lot of free kicks here, so maybe they are playing for set pieces themselves. Right, this is literally carbon copy. This is literally carbon copy, other than the fact that Radari doesn't win the ball. And, oh my god, the defenders just let him run through. The defenders just absolutely let him run through. What are they doing? What are the pair of them doing? And we go behind in a game that I really feel like we need to win. I'm actually tempted. I am tempted to change the formation to a normal 4-3-3. Maybe we've tried to go a bit too non-league with the 4-4-2. Maybe you shouldn't go too non-league. Maybe that's the secret. It's been a while since I've managed at this level, and it's really interesting because it feels like such a different game when you get down to this point. We do not have a long time to kind of change things around. Right, Radari's in here. Funkeu is on side if he wants to use him. He doesn't though. And Davide Radari, who is on loan, remember, he's not our player. But I'd love to make him our player if he can do things like that. Our fullbacks are having an absolutely shocking time out there, by the way. Like, genuinely having the worst game of their lives. And it is a corner to them after we've equalised. I'm a bit concerned at what's going to happen here. Oh, no. Oh, it's been disallowed. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Right. What on earth can we do to try and turn this around? Right. You've got to come off. And I don't know whether Bonner can play out there better. Not really. Can Wassell play out there better? Not really. Right. Sam's going to go out there. He's actually going to play as a fullback on support. And you know what? Campbell's going to go to fullback on support as well. I don't trust these two as wing-backs. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I'm trying to be a bit too clever with them. I feel like that's probably the answer, if I'm honest. I'm trying to be a bit too clever with them. Right, Murtaugh's not had a good game either, so we're going to bring Livermore on. We're going to actually have him go on to be an attacking midfielder. And what we're going to do is, Caruthers is actually going to turn into a supporting winger. So he's just going to get down here. And then Livermore is going to be the one getting forward, trying to support the front two. Sheringham's going to cut inside. And hopefully Campbell will still get forward a little bit. We'll just do that. But we're just giving the possession away a little bit too much. So maybe, just maybe, I don't really want to stretch us too much. We're doing this. Maybe I don't want to step up. We'll drop off a little bit more. We'll leave things at that after that. And I might go attacking for the final 10 minutes. Fire up, boys. Come on. Do it. Oh, they've got another corner. They've been really good to Cheshunt. They've been really, really good. But then, is it because they've been good or is it because we've been bad? I don't know. Right, we clear it, sort of. I swear Radari's just headed it to Seeger. New turn. And they have now scored. They've now scored. What's going to be the winner? We've let them have so many chances at our goal. That's the problem. And I am starting to think, maybe, just maybe, we need to play a formation as a defensive midfielder. The problem is, we've got 4 strikers at the club. They're going to score 4th now, aren't they? No, Young saves. Most useful thing he's done all day is that save. Right. Big ball forward, looking for Radari, who I'm sure is offside. He's kind of got the ball. Funkeu's in, and Funkeu puts it over. What a chance that is. The pass was awful, and the finish was even worse. We've led on XG, and they're going to go away with 3 points. And we've lost both of our... Oh. We've lost both of our opening games. Oh, God. Right. Okay. Flashing the arms. Not good enough, quite frankly. Not good enough at all. I don't care whether you lack belief. That's your own silly fault. Right, well, that's not gone to plan in the slightest. And I've got a feeling we're going to get an absolute telling off by the board at some point very soon. Right, season preview. Still predicted to finish third. They, on the other hand, are predicted to finish... I've just been promoted. Oh, they've just been promoted. They've got the new promotion bounce. It's fine. It's fine, I tell you. It's fine. Oh, God. Right, when will we be back? Oh, God. Look at that pre-season. How... Oh. Well, I'm going to say we're going to def off the rest of August. We might def off September as well. We might just go through all the way to October. Just try and get this first season out of the way a little bit quicker, because there's a lot of football to play, as you can see. So, I think we'll probably end up doing that. So, we'll come back to you somewhere around the turn of September to October. Somewhere here. Play a couple of games and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we're still in the job by then. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you have enjoyed, please do leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you never miss any of the content from this series or the channel. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers.